Stimulus Discrimination by Erin Bauman and Fiona Allum. CNC, CAS 140, Assignment 4. Individuals are trained to discriminate between stimuli and engage in behaviors that will result in reinforcing consequences. Examples could include a person quickly releasing their grip after touching a hot pan or responding to the ring of a phone or text message. Stimulus discrimination training is the process of conditioning an individual to give the appropriate response to a specific stimulus. Corrections are given for incorrect responses, and reinforcement is given for correct responses. Stimulus discrimination is where at any time individuals respond to a situation in which there is a right and wrong behavioral response. If the individual gives the right response, they are reinforced. If they give the wrong response, they are corrected. Strategies to consider. Decide on the target behavior, a schedule of reinforcement, contingencies of reinforcement, and on the contingencies of correction. It is also important to consider setting in which the behavior takes place. Considerations after contingencies have been established. Changing to an intermittent schedule of reinforcement, types of prompts or cues used, and deciding when to begin prompt fading. Pitfalls and problems. If the behavior has a setting event, there is a danger the individual will only perform the behavior in this specific setting. Example, not yelling in a classroom. You would want the student to understand that this was a requirement in every classroom and not just the room in which the training occurs. Also, if fading of prompts does not happen in a timely fashion, the student may become prompt dependent, and this will result in not being able to perform the desired behavior without being prompt. Other pitfalls and problems to consider. It is important to ensure the reinforcement offered is something that will be desired by the individual. It is also important to ensure that the individual has gone through a period of deprivation of the reinforcement being offered before the training occurs. This is an example of a 4-term contingency of reinforcement. The setting event: a teen sees a box of tissue on the table with the tissue inside. The discriminative stimulus: she picks up the box of tissue. The response: she pulls on the tissue that is sticking out of the box. And the reinforcing consequence: she is reinforced with the opportunity to wipe her eye with the tissue. In this example of a 4-term contingency of correction, the setting event is where an educational assistant is working with her student on color association. The discriminative stimulus: the educational assistant asks the student, choose the crayon color of grass. The student's response:
there it is.
The student chooses the black crayon. the correction consequence occurs. The EA says that crayon is black. The crayon color is the same as the grass in this picture.
What is
This is an example of a four-term contingency of reinforcing consequence. The setting event: an educational assistant is working once again with a student on color association. The discriminative stimulus: the EA asks the student, what color was the grass in the picture? The student responds,
green. This is the color green.
Reinforcing consequence, the EN says, yes, it is. Good job. Discussion questions for the CAS 140 students. Question 1. Should the setting event always be considered when planning for stimulus discrimination training? Or question 2. What should one of the first steps you would take after realizing that a student is under stimulus control and has become prompt dependent for yelling out in the classroom? For further information on stimulus discrimination, please check out the following online resources and references.